Hello everybody! Good afternoon or morning, wherever it is. Welcome to this episode 8 of the United series. Completely improvised episode, even though I was planning on recording it. I'm following right now my training from mastermind.com with Dean Graciosi, the launch secrets mastermind that is absolutely amazing while I'm painting. So this is usually since I started painting and spending time watching the trainings, I can listen and I'm painting because I'm finally done writing the book. And so this is the moment, when the book is finished and you're finally there, like I'm right about to upload it. So I need to finish those paintings to add them in the book because I started them when I started the proofreading the book, and it's like the completion, right? We've been painting together, we've been writing together, we've been doing this journey together, and the paintings will symbolize the completion of the book as well. And as when you will be reading the book and painting your own artworks, at the end of the book is when you're completing your painting as well. So the cycle is circled. I mean, this is wow. And now watching this training with Dean, the launch secrets, it's like when they started their first challenge, the Own Your Future challenge, I had just started doing my videos. I remember my very first video was about the natural awakening, right? And all this process that they've been accompanying me all through the journey, from the very first product, the very first mastermind I posted online, my oracle that I created, the Mother Earth Mandala Oracle that I have right here as well. And this one, I promoted it a lot on my Facebook, but I had always an idea and another idea, a painting series, a painting mastermind, then writing the book. Oh my God, so much information I have to put in this book. And I never really had time to focus on really the marketing, even though my goal all during the journey was to develop a network. So I wrote to everybody, looked for partnerships and jobs and stuff like that actually created itself, the inspired for the collection, for the books and all of that. So what a cycle that we've been created, and now to be at that point where launching secrets, I know I have a solid foundations. Like I feel really like it's a new beginning. There was a beginning with a lot of projects here and there, and now this book that is just tying everything together and inspired by the network is like the link between everything. Like the foundation is created. I'm ready to launch. I'm ready to offer you my workshops. Go to your organizations or organize it through the United Nations because oh my goodness, when I try to do politics, I was reading one of the sections this morning, and they were saying, would you if you're in the military, would you launch, would you go explore all the Pacific Ocean all by yourself, and without your team? No, you have to rely on your team. You have teamwork. And this is what I did this weekend. I was just exploring. I was like, oh my God, what's going on in Russia? I want to understand now. I started going on the Russian forums and everything, not speaking the language. So of course, the images, and this is when I realized the importance of images, because they were posting, bombings, tanks that they were bringing to Egypt, right, to help with the crops, Russia. And I thought they were like tanks for war, ready for war and stuff. And I realized how important the image is, if you don't read the words, or even if you read the words, but the images that get stuck to your subconscious. And this whole research about the logos, about people's logos, symbols, use of communication, the use of the media. Are they meant to deceive people and justify political actions? Are they meant to reassure? What is our part in between, to make sure that we use the media to our advantage to create the peace, to create this harmony, and not to generate the panic? Even though some facts are alarming, and if you don't alarm the people and bring the awareness, then nobody knows about it. So finding the balance about being transparent, knowing what's going on, and being the mediator, relying on your team, trusting that there's professionals there on site, and that thanks to the social media, the communication, and all of that, we can be informed and generate the peace. So the governments in the world, of course, are doing amazing. We saw all the solidarity, and you know, these 3 paintings, so that I want to show you right now, they really represent the Inca trilogy, the prophecy of Pachacuti coming together, when the condor and the eagle will fly together. So the condor, which represents the South America, the wisdom, the nature, the intuition, and the eagle that represents the North America, the engineering, the progress, technology. And of course, one comes with the other, but it's symbolically, you know, the merging. And we have this with the thunderbirds and the blue angel, the condor and the eagle, literally. It doesn't have to belong to a nationality. There's more concept, like left brain, right brain, you know? So this is one. Then there is the tablets of emerald that have inspired me a lot during... This is my little desk right here. Where am I? I have my book here on my lap. So I'm eating some peanuts, but besides that, I'm painting the phoenix. So you see the eagle and the condor flying together that create a third entity, and we have Dean right here. Hey, Dean. That create another entity that is the phoenix, right? So then inspired by the tablets of emerald as well, by Thought. So this is tablet 1 and the sword, and there's so many images. So you see, I wanted to show through this episode 8, the 3 stages, right? There's so many different stages. Of course, you have how to paint the background, how to paint the design, all, right? We're skipping to the end right now, actually. It's literally the most advanced part. Once you've done your background, you've done your outline, you know what you want to do. So how do you paint your background? And I've never done this in a class before, like comparing 3 paintings. Oh yeah, I've done it with the Metatron series actually. But so you see, my outline is done, my symbols, my elements. Now all I have to do is the background. So for this one, it's for a White House. Okay. In one of my other videos, I said, oh, well, you know what? If I have to be, if I have to corrupt some politicians and send a painting at the White House to find a job, then I will do it. and then it was funny because I started seeing, you know, the follow through President Joe Biden and the pictures from the White House and what are the colors at the White House, what room I could put it on. And then I felt like this was really the perfect painting to symbol that new unification and the peace in the world coming, because the governments right now are doing so much, whether it is the government, the Navy, the marketing, the spiritual communities, the science, everybody is, or even at the individual level, everybody is working massively to bring peace. And now most of the missions are humanitarian, besides that war to bring some you know, some drama to the movie, but mostly we have peace in the world right now. So completing that will be symbolizing the new golden age. You know, this is a Nazca line, the condor. So there is this legend of the Nazca lines in Peru that they still to this day don't know what it is. When you go visit, they tell you they're phreatic naps, like water, underground waters. That makes those shapes, right? Of course, perfect shapes of spiders, condors, monkey, astronaut. Of course not. So to me, they're like kind of crop circles, right? They're energetically engraved into the ground, and you can see them for years. They don't disappear like crop circles. These are into the ground in Peru, in the desert of Nazca. I've taken an airplane there, and I've flew over these lines. Actually, you can get my book, the In the Middle of Now Here, in my website, the travel section. So on my website, you have a section called Travel Inspirations. You can go there and you can find my books, or in my book section of my shop. I think it's $8. $8 and episode 8. Look at that. How aligned. Amazing. So get this book. $8. And you will see all my trip in Peru, in the desert of the Huacachina, in the Nazca Lines, in the desert of the preserve, right? The ocean preserve of Paracas, where there's sea lions. Oh my God, this was amazing, this trip. And the legend of Huacachina, you want to read that? This is so personal to my story as well. And so here in this one, there will be yellows and blues. See, it's like a American version of the American flag, of the Chacana, which is the Inca cross. And it's like a portal, like this medallion that I have that looks like a Chacana. I will probably go get it at the end so you can see it. But this is literally a portal, right? It's like a mirror. And all my paintings there, they have a strong symbol that is like a portal. So they connect people between each other. You see, this one has a Chacana too. This one we did during the kids workshop with my son at the farm. And this one has the Merkaba. So you see on this one, there's nothing in the background yet. So this will have some yellow and blue colors. Maybe, I don't know, maybe browns for the bottom and sky. So to make it be dimensional, or I don't know. This one that I'm painting right now is gonna have very soothing colors. Maybe some fiery color here because it's a phoenix. And so I wanted you to see between nothing, no background, no dots, to this one, I'm in the middle. So you get your dots like that and you space them out. You see, you start with the color. So for example, here I'm starting to put some pink here and there, or some blue here and there. And then I add another color. See, here is only the blue. And then next to it, I add some purple. Then I mix some purple and some pink. I got some pearl colors. But you see, because all my symbols are pearly colors, like satin, which has kind of a metallic look a little bit, shiny, you see? They're metallic a little bit, they're pearly, right? And this one as well, this is copper and gold. If you see really well, you see they're pearly colors, they're shiny. So in the sun, this will reflect a lot, right? So for the background, I don't want to put shiny colors. I'm going to put matte colors. So it contrasts. So the sky will be nice and matte and beautiful, while the elements will pop out with the metallic colors in the sun. They will be really bright. If I would put metallic colors all around it, the whole painting would be like reflect the light so much that you couldn't, if you're in the sun with a nice light on it, you wouldn't, it would kind of like overtake all the painting with light. You still need to be able with it. So having a contrasting background help with that really the elements you want to be highlighted, be seen like that. So I don't know if I will leave this empty or if I will paint it with that nice color right here. I like that. I like that. So it will be like a little cloud, floating like a little cloud. You see, this one is very sky. This one is very land, like the Andes. And now, this one is finished completely. So you see, this is the third stage. So you see, at first, you're like, oh, this looks like kind of messy. At first, it's like, oh, super clean but empty. Then it's like, oh, it's kind of messy. You're not really sure what it's going to look like at the end. You're like, oh, maybe I'm messing it up. But no, trust yourself. Keep mixing the colors. Here, probably some greens. You see, shades of tones, shades of colors. And with some colors that contrast a little bit. Some pinks. Here there will be some orange to contrast as well, to highlight the other colors from the painting. And in the end, you see, when it comes together, it blends in. It blends in, so you still have this mosaic effect, while the elements are really highlighted, right? The elements without the dots on it. This one is the opposite, the complete opposite. The hieroglyphs and thought and the symbols are matte, while all the rest of the painting, all the rest of the dots are metallics because it's the emerald. So it had to look like an emerald, but you still have to have that contrast too. You see, this one is metallic. Beautiful scarab. It's metallic, but it's a large piece. But you see those metallic on metallics, you can't really see really well. So you have to have that contrast really to highlight. Beautiful. Yeah, the tablets and thought that has been accompanying me all the way really for all this painting. So this is where I'm at, finishing up the book, and I want to have this trilogy ready to complete. And what a journey. So thank you everybody for all the ones who've been here since the beginnings, those who joined recently. I've been really wanted to tag the Navy, the military, the Thunderbird, because of course they are the symbols, you know. So when I say calling on to aliens, it's them, it's you guys, the extraordinary skills that are gifted. Oh my God, when you see the Thunderbirds and the Blue Angel flying, you're like, what in the world is this? How do they do it? How do they reach this level of precision? And that's just out of this world for me. And really, this is it. We are it. We are the people of the future. We are these we have become so conscious. The communication is such high level. I think this is really the gift that we got from COVID, is that social media used to be sharing, you know, hey, I just created this, share. Hey, I just created this, buy this. Hey, the military is there. Boom. And, you know, just like purely informative to becoming real strategic communication, partnership, alliances, discovering to know each other. Besides what you just see in a journal or in an event right next to your house that you get to see once a year, now you get to witness it every day. I can see where the Blue Angels they are. There are some pictures every day. You get to see the journey of a single mom in a house in the middle of a mess, but trying to create an empire, you know, and to bring people together to do it while doing the simple thing, a painting that can change your everyday life and the way the energies in your life, how you recode your story, your vision board. You know, this book, it was really difficult to go through all the stages while trying to promote elevation, right? Fly above, go through, because at the end, you see the pieces coming together. You understand why, even though each and every part of the journey, I was complaining, it was difficult. I was just wanting to give up. I would see so much distance still between where I am and what I want to be. But thanks to you guys being with me all along the journey, that now I'm like, okay, I feel like a new beginning at a new level. This is now really, because like I said, I have a legit offer. So yesterday, talking to my friend Tira, I was telling them, when I tried to print this book, I went to the store and the book is almost 600 pages. It's 557 pages. And I go to print it and the lady's like, okay, so it's going to be $430 to print it. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, right? So, because I don't even have that right now. And so I was like, wait. And I had like a food assistance application, right, on the same USB key that I was printed. So I think she got pity of me or something. She was like, oh, okay, I got you. And she just like charged me for black and white. So I ended up paying $60 for this, right, instead of $400. But then I realized, I was like, wow, I have a problem. How is everybody going to afford that if they want to buy a book? So of course, it's not going to be $400 on Amazon. If they mass publish it, it's probably going to be a little less, maybe $300. But then I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to redo the book. And I was like, no, stop playing small. This is an entire curriculum of an entire year. Like we can do each day a year. Actually, I'm thinking on creating a membership where we're gonna do a page a year, right? 365 if you want to do online. But the best would be to do a 5 days. So this was created to do a 5 days team building workshop. So During 5 days, we studied the entire book with a special focus on a special field that you want. If it's politics, if it's business, if it's art. Art, there will be art in all fields. Oh, the book is art, but it can be applied to science, astronomy, astrology, diplomacy, military, symbols, even coding and stuff like that. So it's super passionating. If you want to just buy the book, then you have all my curriculum, all the journey, everything, how to write, how to apply for a job, how to create your business, how to create a painting, how to change your diet, how where to find information, the references of everybody now, okay? Because I want this to be your guide for the next millennium, at least, or 30 millennium, forever, you know? Because what they're creating, Dean, this course right now, I was like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I'm in this mastermind.com every month. I was like, this is the thing I can never give up, because it's like, I see a course like that, the value, I'm like, they're creating the foundation of the marketing. Anybody wants to do marketing, they go there, they have like freaking everything. And I was like, I need to keep these courses. Oh my God, I'm gonna rewatch it. It's amazing, you know. So that's really two great foundations that I've been creating in parallel with all of you others, you know, Resonance Science Foundation, Forbidden Knowledge, the Art Science Foundation, the new communication with Navy and government, all of that, and how we apply it at the individual level every day, and how to be kind also, because I was just thinking about it earlier. I was like, why was it so hard? Why was it so difficult to go through it? You know, I reread the passages, some passages, why it took me so long, because some passages I had to rewrite 10 times. From the first paragraph that was like, society is completely shitty. This is unfair, life sucks. Well, like, you know, to here is how you manifest your vision board. Write your stuff like you want them to be, if anything was possible. Because the books I wrote 10 years ago, I realized that everything I wrote became real, and I want this to be the same, writing exactly how I want it to be and see it become real. It's not just a story of what happened, it's also programming what I want to become real. There is my strategic plan for the United Nations for the next 5 years, 50 years, or no matter what it takes, you know, we're going to make it. We're going to remove the nuclear power. We're going to do more and more humanitarian. We're going to care more about each other. It's already happening. It's just communicating more to the people around us. So there's no longer knowledge reduces the fear of each other, you know. And also being kind, because so then I was like, why was it so difficult? And it's because, you know, you're not walking around with a shield. You know, you're not walking around like this with a shield unless you're in the military, you know. And so when there is something mean, when someone says a mean comment or something hurts you, look at it this way, like one knife can kill you. A flower, so if you're just walking and you receive an attack, whether it's an energetic attack or someone attacks you, or the shooting in the school, all the terrible stuff, that the rabbit hole that you can fall into, and it's horrible because you can't sleep at night. It is just more and more. One knife can kill you, right? And you're walking, and it will hurt you if someone throws a knife at you. But a flower, if someone throws a flower at you, it will, you know, caress your skin, fall next to you, or you catch it, you smell it, it's good. And then it will last a little while, and then it will, unless you dry it and you keep it, but it will vanish, you know. So the scar, you can have the scar all the rest of your life. And so for the flowers, if you want to have beautiful, someone sends you a flower or a compliment or something, you need a lot of it every day, you know. The flower, you need to renew the flower, you need to have a bed of flower all around you, or this one flower that is so special and meaningful to you, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that destroying is easier than creating. It's easier, you know. You're building you're building something, you need a team, you need construction workers, you need strategic plans, you need time, you need materials, you're building, it can take a month. They were building houses next to me. It took them maybe 3 months, 4 months to build those little lots of houses. It takes time. Destroying, half a second, throw a bomb, boom, that's it, And so all the focus, all our focus needs to be into how we become more, kinder, and how we build, and focus our technology into building faster, so we can also not waste so much energy into building, going to space and stuff. I really feel like the transition through the solar, NASA, what they're doing by adding the solar. Look, if you look at this painting, I discovered this is the golden condor. This is why I painted it gold, and also why I called my son Esteban, for a cartoon called The Mysterious Cities of Gold. And it's the story of a little Spanish boy, that decides to go with the conquering the South America with the Spanish, right, in the 17th century or the 15th century. One of the first explorers, so 1400s, something like that, 1470, and nearby the 15th, 16th century. He goes with the Spaniards in their boats to conquer South America, and he finds 2 other little kids, and they're doing on their own journey at the same time, and they're finding a condor, the golden condor, that is completely solar energy, and it flies through the Andes, and this is how they find the cities of gold, right? So the Nazca line mixed with the gold. So you see, this is really a journey, the completion of a journey. So yeah, and that's why it's so hard, because you need the flowers, you need to water your flowers every day. It's easy to destroy, it's easy to be jealous, to send, and this is why. So remember that you don't walk around with a shield, but you have to learn to also protect yourself and see the good and water the good, because it takes more consistency, but the effect is so many times better from when I started to where they took me, Dean and Tony, expanding to all that. This is incredible, so and I'm so grateful. And so my friend who was asking me, how much is the book gonna cost? And I was like, it's probably gonna be 300. And so, like I said, let's stop playing small. I mean, this is a full curriculum. Okay, this is when you want to spend $300 or $400 onto something, you do it. Like when I spent $900 for the project Next, I was happy to do it. When I paid $400 for Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins, oh my God, it's like next time they had an event and I couldn't afford it, I was like, no, like I can't believe I'm not in this one. Like when they launched this project Next Level, that was like $9,000, and I know that was like everything. That's so good. I was like, no. But I followed along and I did my own, right? And I don't think I could have gone faster than that, even though I feel I'm slow, but at the same time, I feel like I'm really fast. I haven't seen any artist that has been pushing from that level until all the way following the masterminds, yeah. So you see, it's like the parrot of what Dean's lesson is doing, but it's actually really what's been happening in my own journey, modeling, the process. And so we can all evolve together. And we learned. They learned from the art, I learned from the strategies, and then exponentially created this third entity. But for those who can't afford the 300, everything is for free on my website. Everything. So it's not, there's really, my value ladder is for everybody. If you want all my book, everything that's on my book, it's all available for free on my website in videos, but it's like maybe 3 years of videos, right? Videos, masterminds, the Chakra Adventure, the NASA International Space Challenge, When Art Meets Science, my article for the Resonance Science Foundation, my Metatrons Vibes mastermind, that's also on my website, my library, my article, all of that, it's in the book, because I was like, if one day, who knows what happens to internet, or like when I lost my Instagram with all of my content, I was like, I need to have all of my content in a book, and if you just showed up, you don't know what I've been doing, get the book, because you have everything in the long process for any topic. And you have the summary. You can pick by topic, or you can follow along in one long session. So yeah, if you get for the book, you can have everything for free on my website, but it can take you a long time, and also having to constantly go back to it. Maybe you give up, but the book is amazing because you have it at home. You can have it next to your bed or during your lunch or whatever, and you read a couple of pages a day or 10 pages or whatever, and you constantly have this energy, these solutions, these questions, these little team activities, all this stuff with your team. And if you want to do it together, contact me and we can organize. I can organize any price. I can organize a 3 days, 3 hours, right? Like I'm going to do right now with my friend Elizabeth. 3 hours or morning workshops. We switch groups. She's doing yoga while I do the painting. And then we switch for a bunch of ladies, you know. So it's really adjustable. That's the beauty about it. If you want the full training, interaction, like I'm thinking reuniting science and NASA and stuff like that, where there would be a lot of brainstorming and engineering and stuff like that, this would be probably a week, right? Because we'd be painting, we'd be creating symbols and logos, and at the same time sharing, what is their latest discoveries, bring them there. What is their actual situation and needs right now? Put it at the table. Boom, boom. All the fields bringing solutions together. I imagine this is already happening. But for the teams to offer a painting, they come, they create something that's, it's a little relaxing. We're working, but we're having fun. We're meeting new people in real life, materializing it, making it real. That's so cool. So that's it. That's my episode 8. I want to thank everybody for being along in this journey. You see, I reached that level that I'm almost not talking crap about anybody. So this is real enlightenment along the book. Yes, but I hope that you will get it. Launch should be on the March 3rd, 3/3 of 2023. And there is also one thing that's awesome from the book, is that the point is also to find what's solutions to what's challenged me along the journey. What challenged me is that I didn't have any income. I had help from my ex-husband for my son, for the house, so I wasn't in a dramatic situation. But for me, that was very stressful not to be in control of my income, and trying to create that business that took a lot longer than what I imagined. This book, that 600 pages, it was supposed to be a 50 pages booklet, right? That I wanted to do, or 100 pages booklet. I was like, how did this happen? Like, I have no idea. But then I realized, because there was so much, I was like, now if I'm doing something, I'm not going to do half of it. I'm going to go all in and do the work really well and put everybody in. And this is like a legacy for the next century. So, I forget what I was going to say. Yes, I wanted to read you an extract. Okay, so I just picked an extract here completely randomly. I was like, okay, what extract should I show for this session? Okay, so this is the book, page 267, because it's really the prophecies coming together. It's so many, it's crazy. We live in a crazy time, and I imagine there's been cycles already, but here, this is what started me, the study of symbol. And this is amazing that this is the page that comes up today, because one of my questions was, I'm going to read it. Okay, so you have the symbols, you have the fire letters right here, master symbols. You have some letters that Lumineuse posted. I don't know what that is, lightcodes. And these are the Atlantean letters by Matthias de Stefano. So if you look at them from close by, you can see similarities, but yet they all look different. And so my explanation, you see, I'm going to read while you can look at that. Okay, the evolution of the alphabet. So one question that I asked myself when I learned about the fire letters and the Atlantean letters: If those supposedly have the same origin in the Atlantean civilizations, why don't they look the same? As you can see, the Atlantean letters are based on sacred geometry patterns, based on the Merkaba and Flower of Life, while the fire letters remind me of human body shapes. What do you think? Here's my opinion. It's because it is the essence of it that we remember, not necessarily the exact shape. So the channels who bring those languages back interpret them with their own codes, or the language of the guardians they communicate with. A little bit like the difference between Creole and French, or UK English and American English. Then we must take into account the evolution of the alphabet through the ages. You could possibly be reading the same language from different timelines. So you see, this is why. It's like, why? Why do they have all these letters that say it's from Atlantis, but they're all different? And it's because of the different eras, the evolution of the alphabet, and just like the aliens. You know, I was like, I could see aliens coming to Earth, talking to me, the people of the future. I keep saying the people of the future, we are the people of the future. So essentially the way they saw us with those, the helmets and the glasses and the spirit animals, you know, all of that is what's been traveling through times. And there are portals within the book that takes you in different eras. And it really is very special. Like, I can't explain unless you live it. You see something, you realize you were in a time loop. Or when they come together, you realize, oh wow, we really are traveling within the timelines like that. And Thought, who was writing this book with me, was writing the tablets at the same time, and I'm reading the tablets at the same time. I see passages where they're talking about us, you know, and how it's a metaphor, a symbol, you know, but it's real. You know, I have this page right here, from The Mask, you know, the movie The Mask, when it's like, he puts the mask on, he's like, I promise to you, this mask is alive. It's like, ah! And the guy is like, yeah, okay, it's a metaphor, a symbol, you know. And then I'm questioning a lot about that, you know. Are we to see aliens coming down? If yes, we want to say you welcome. You know, we're, I think, open enough to receive new species. And then I see the Blue Angels, and then I see the Thunderbird, and I see those skills that are superhero skills, and I'm like, this is already here. This is us. This is our ascension process that is manifesting within our body. You know, the first is completely etherical until it manifests. So just like the evolution of the letters, right? We become those idealization and those metaphors. So if we are to see those beings, there was this theory that the Greys aliens. Wait a minute! There was this theories that the Greys aliens were the people from the future, the human from the futures, but because the world had been destroyed by nuclear weapons, and where did I read that? Because the world has been destroyed by nuclear weapons and wars, and everybody is hiding underground. They've had to stay underground. There was a catastrophe. The air was polluted. Like, worst case scenario for the earth, right? They had to live underground, hiding from the sun, and so their skin got discolored and got this grayer tint, right? And building this technology to be able to, well, this is the story I read. And then I continued the story in my mind. And I was like, so what were they doing underground? They were building these technologies to be able to time travel, to come back and avoid this Earth case scenario. And this is why, oh my God, talking about a time travel live right in front of you. And this is why I can see everything. And this is why they travel back to the 90s. And this is why in the 90s and 60s, Roswell and everything, you have so many testimonies of people seeing gray aliens, because this is the time when they started doing the technology, when they started implementing the nuclears, the solar, and there since then they always had been like those hippie channels, right, saying, oh, we've been warned for the nuclears, you know, never again, when this is the time when they did the nuclear weapon. And they saw that was the first of the dramas out of a series, completely apocalyptic scenario to avoid if this keeps going. So this is why they had all these sightings of the aliens, and some would come to awaken the people. They awakened me in my dreams. So maybe people would freak out. They realized that people would have PTSD seeing an alien and completely be traumatized. So they realized they would have to interfere etherically, energetically, on the subliminal, invisible level. And so maybe this is when they don't appear like a little gray anymore, because less and less I hear about the spaceships crashing and stuff like that. They found a way to actually become invisible, where only the people who are interested in the topic, because you see what you believe, kind of, you know, would be able to understand, oh, this is maybe not me, maybe I'm channeling something, maybe there's different layers of understanding when I'm writing something and stuff like that. And that now this generation, after all the Roswell, Men in Black, conspiracy theories, all this stuff that started, it's become more and more transparent, etherical, even in the social media. So we could become their spokesperson. At some point, even I'm channeling thought from the past, but I'm also channeling those grays from the future. They came to activate some codes in us, like Billy Carson, he has a testimony about that. I have testimonies about that. They came to awaken, or Matthias, he says he saw someone when he was a child. They come to awaken us, give us those light codes, those stuff we need to know, so we can come and say, hey, no, we're changing the timeline. We're adjusting, we're changing the timelines, the different levels of reality. Oh, I have my ears ringing and everything. So maybe this is why we're not seeing them like that, but now we're seeing their transmutation form, right? With the pilots with the helmets and stuff. But let's stay over the ground, you know, and enjoy the sun while we can without polluting the atmosphere. Wow, it's good solving the mysteries of the universe with you guys. And time traveling. And one other funny thing is that one of my first videos that I did was a tour of my house. And because my house looked like a art gallery, I have paintings everywhere, it's like a museum. And when I first wanted people to understand what I was showing in the art, and not just the beauty of the art, but the subliminal meaning, I did this little video where I would be in front of an artwork, and every time I would be like, ding, you know, ready for teleportation, ding, and I would go to another painting and explain the painting. And in the caption, I wrote, caution, this video is for space-time travelers only, or you may, what was it? Do not attempt without the presence of a time traveler, of an of a master time traveler. Yes, that was my first real good caption and video. Released that, and I was like, do not attempt without the presence of a master time traveler. And guess what? This is why I attracted in my reality all the time travelers. They just like started showing up. Oh, what, time traveler? Okay, we're coming. What's up? And started recording the timelines of the Matrix and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. And I have I don't know if you've seen this show. Where is it at? I'm gonna find it this time. Called Travelers. Wait, hold on. Let me look at my... Now that I have my beautiful summary, I'm going to use it. Because I know in what chapter it is. Page 290. 290. Ah, it's the other book. Hold on. Right here. If you've seen this show, Traveler, Sense8, Charmed, the original and the OA, Original Angel as well. These are, I should have added here. Oh, yeah. I think actually, where was it? Yeah, I absolutely need to have the poster of the OA to add in the book, because I'm going to add it right here, I think. Because these are really shows that if, if, for example, you have people from your family, they're not into these or they don't believe you, first level of consciousness, make it a sci-fi, so they can understand the concept. And with the sensate is really, really, really good to explain all of this. The shape-shifting that's really happening into my life, travelers, what I'm talking about, having these people from the future come and like using your avatar to accomplish certain missions and change the timelines of history. Yes, I believe it. I live it, So wow. Episode 8. As above, so below. Thank you for watching. I would love for you to give me your reviews about the book. So buy the book. When you're painting, go ahead and send me the pictures of your paintings. And if you want to make it a mastermind with the organizations, I will offer you the book. You can contact me and book a week workshop, and I will offer you the book for free. Okay? So you will have all the details on my website. I'm going to make an offer right now. I'm still in the process. I'm not as elaborate as Dean being like, hey, yeah, click right here. My team already set up the funnel and all of that. But you see, this is possible even with one person to create that. And I'm so glad that I got to put this into words, into videos, and that we have proofs of these experiences, because many times I was experiencing something and I was like, oh, it's just a one-time thing, it's never going to happen again. Well, nobody will believe it, and then it happens again and again. And I'm like, oh man, if I would record all the proofs of it, then nobody can deny it. If I'm pulling a card from an oracle and right away it's the one I was talking about, boom, you have a proof in front of it. Or right now, when I was just remote viewing the time travel loop, right, to avoid the nuclear, like to avoid certain scenario and come back to what the United Nations was showing, climate change, 3 different type of scenarios, 1, 2, 3, we pick. And this we pick is when we align with the frequency that we want. There's many voices in our heads, so which one do we align with? This is the most important. Everybody, thank you so much. I'm so excited. Like, by the time you will see this video, it will mean that the paintings are completed. It's in the book. You can click and buy the book. All my life is in there. All our projects for us, for the future, to continue the adventure. Everything's available for everybody, for your kids. Videos, books, cards, all the formats possible, PDF, downloadable PDFs, all of that. So I hope you enjoy this content. Really watch it and show it to your friends, to your kids, everybody, so we can all harmonize, our missions while staying different. We don't have to be all the same. Keeping our identity is so important. If we're all the same, it's boring. Okay, we learn from each other. When people are you have someone to impress, and they're showing you like their skills, and you're like, oh my God, this is possible at that level. Okay, well, maybe I can accomplish something too. What do they do? The science, the level, whoo, the pilot, the level, whoo, the business, the level, whoo, the painting. Well, when I see that, I'm like, okay, I need to uplevel my skills in the paintings, and so always trying and trying to do better. Keep it simple. Elegance, simplicity is elegance also. But yeah, really putting our hearts into something and see what we can accomplish. Have a good day, everybody. Oh my gosh, 2 very important things that I forgot to tell you, that I need to talk to you about art as well. You see, this is the kind of sample, the book. One of the most important things of the book, okay, I could not forget to tell you that, is that the book is full of models. If you want to paint, stuff, the most beautiful ones that I found. For example, I love to draw a puma, so this is the kind of stuff, the most beautiful one that I found. I love this one, geometric. I love this picture right here. This is how I painted the those. You see, these two are from the same image right here in this book. Okay, so for example, if the Blue Angels or the Thunderbird, they want to do a training with me, we will do a special Inca trilogy or a special Pachacuti, the eagle and the condor coming together. So maybe they will want to paint there will be Team Condor and Team Eagle, you know, or we would draw one on each side with an American flag in the middle, whatever you create, you know, and you have the explanation of the Chacana right here. Where is it? Right here, you see I have the explanation of the Chacana. I have several designs of snakes, of the DNA, the logo of the medicine, this condor, you see that is right here. All that I use tracing paper for it. So the book is full of designs and symbols like that you can just copy from the book, real size. You even have like the gods of Egypt, explaining the chakras and the in so many ways, from the ninjas and from the traditional like linear view, which is the same with time, right? You have the linear view of time and you have the circular view of time. So all that you can apply to so many. Oh my goodness. See, I put the description from the masterminds from Dean, extracts from the speech of the State of the Union. I mean, the book is amazing. See, a workshop about abundance by Lulumineuse with some extracts. And like I said, well, mostly in the first part of the book, or I need to keep some surprises, but you see, so there's symbols like that. The letters, I try to put them bigger so you can reproduce them. All symbols that you can use in your own designs and mandalas. What's your motto? Never give up or let it go. At that point of the journey, I would say never give up. Depending on what we're talking about, of course. If it's the war, just let it go. But if it's a project, a passion that you have, never give up, because once it's finished, wow, you're building something, legating. You know, my son, after years now, he's been seeing me in my office. I've missed out on many days playing with him. I've been feeling so guilty, but now I'm going to spend more time playing with him, catch up, you know, make it up to him. But one day, when it'll be realized, oh wow, all the stuff that Mommy did and that I create this financial freedom for us, and he's get a model because I get an amazing job or I'm accomplished great things, I can tell him everything I did was for you. All these years gambling on our life, that was horrible. The stress, gambling on our life, you know, am I gonna make it? And going so all in that I was like, nah, I have no choice. I die or I make it. Like, this is a little extreme, but that was like, I lose everything or I make it. So now that I'm here, I just better go for it, you know? And all because of him. Because if I didn't have him, I would be like, what? I'm just gonna give up. It's too hard. It's too hard, you know? But if you have maybe you don't have children, but maybe you have someone that you want to, you know, grow with, impress, or make proud, maybe your mom, maybe a friend, and maybe simply yourself, you know, because there was before all my drama, but you'll see in the book, there's a lot of extreme stuff that happened, like stories. I had to read the book, otherwise nobody believes it. So the accumulation is what people are going to say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, maybe she's making stuff up. Maybe a little part of it at least is true. But before all this crazy stuff happened, maybe not all this crazy stuff happened in your life either, but even though we all have crazy stuff. But before that, I had a good life, you know, I was happy. I was like, it's possible to be happy outside, enjoying the sun. And when I lost that, I felt like it was impossible to find this again. Like, no smiling, no laughing, just grinding, just anxiety, just doubts. And And of course, all my team will always lift me back up. And I had my days where I was the one lifting everybody up. I'm not a sack of potatoes either, you know. But then I was like, whoa, is it possible to get back to that state? You know, what's the other side? And I was like, yes, I believe all the time. I was like, I believe it's possible. I believe it's going to be even better. I had to let go of all of that worse so I could kick jump to amazing level, you know, while being a mother, while decorating my house, while painting something unique nobody has done, you know. So it's really an encouragement. I hope the journey will inspire you, no matter what level you are. You know, if you're very successful in your life, maybe understand more of your wife or your someone else or your mom. You know, sometimes we have grudges on our moms. Like me, I was like, oh man, she's always screaming at me, you know, always crying over guys, like, you know, disturbed. I was like, oh, she should be taking care of me instead. Like, she doesn't even care about my homework. Like, screw you, mom. Like, you know, teenagers, maybe you're teenagers, you're seeing that. And then when you have your own kids, you see how difficult it is. Like, maybe you understand your parents better. Maybe so you always have something in your life, a limiting belief or a trauma or something to transmute, to see, you know. Also give credit to yourself, like, wow, you're doing a lot. Your mom did a lot for you. Well, you're doing a lot for you and your son. If you're hard on yourself every day, you're like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or I'm so lazy, look at that, I'm only painting, I didn't even paint this month, or I'm not even taking good care of my son. And then I have a friend, she comes here and she's like, oh my God, everything you do is crazy. I was like, really? I feel like I'm not doing anything. It's like, no, everything you do, your house is perfect. Like, you're taking care of your cats, your kid, you're taking him out, you're writing a book, you're making paintings, you're following trainings, you know, going to the markets, you're traveling. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of stuff, you know, but you need to have a community to remind you of that, because if you're stuck with, and you're like, oh, I'm just going to make it in my bubble, it's easy to fall into this, either the complacency of not growing or the doubt of yourself that you're not capable because you're overwhelmed, you know. So grateful also for all the trainings. I say it all the time, but it's every day that they're here for me, and it's every day that I'm angry sometimes, and most of the time transmuting that in being so grateful. You know, now the anger, all that is behind. I'll leave it in the tunnel, you know. But hopefully the people come out of the tunnel altogether as well. So you see the stages, just like the as well. So all these symbols, they're all in the book. Maybe not the phoenix, but you can find those on internet. But essentially, even if you're in the middle of the woods without an internet connection, 1, 2, 3, paint everything you need. And that is it. Bye. And one more note that I forgot is that regarding the grays, right? When I said they're traveling back, what am I cooking and burning? When they're traveling back as grays, right, in the 50s and 60s and stuff, and now we don't see them like that. Now we see blue beings, we see spirits, and more attractive visuals of that, you know, visions. Why? Because they don't exist anymore, the grays. As they change their future, their yucky, you know, dying, like unhealthy appearance from where they were after all these nuclear explosions and stuff disappeared. We recreated the future. They don't exist anymore. This is why now we are seeing those beautiful avatar galactic beings and stuff like that, because this is who they are now, us, what we are becoming. We are becoming our future. You see, own our future, like, woo! So we have, you know, when they say, what if you could come back to your 20 years old self, and what would you tell them? this is what was happening. They came back with the time travel machine to tell us how to change the future. They changed the future. And now, wow, look at that. They're beautiful pilots, riding aircrafts and airplanes and building new spaceships that are going to be completely efficient and renewable and self-sustainable and clean and all of that. And we're going to be beautiful instead of ending up in underground facilities to protect us from the pollution. And maybe this is also what I saw from her dream to Ukraine. She was underground, and we opened the door, right? Like a stargate opening. You see those gates, those painting behind me? I know the video is a little piece by piece, but because you see I have a layer of understanding, I work more on the painting, and I have more light codes coming, more information. And it's layers after layers after layers that I connect the pieces of the puzzle like that and communicate with all these realities. But so we did it, like we are changing the future. And now this is why, I don't know, this is why we don't see those anymore, because Billy Carson, when he saw those, then he started his mission to go hard at it, like, change the consciousness, like expose the conspiracy theories and stuff. And now it's becoming transparent. The politicians, they're working on opening up, the doors and all of that. So we're not into this war now. They're removing the weapons. All of this is happening. We listened. So we have changed the future. And beauty is the price. Our health, our environment, our sanity, our communication. This is crazy beautiful happening, and we don't even know it because it's everywhere. It's so subtle, but we need to continue. The women are more beautiful now than ever, with all the skincare, the makeups, it's like literally sci-fi aesthetics, that we have. Women, they can be perfect if they want to, like the hair, the color. You can have the hair the color you want. Access to fashion. I mean, it's a good time to live in, really. So hope we're gonna get to enjoy some time out for the spring now. And what if, you see, it's never finished, because the rabbit hole, the answers always bring more questions. So Billy Carson, special one, when he says that he saw those aliens, right, waking him up. What if that was your great grandkids saying, hey, our great grandpas, they fucked up there at that time, let's go scare him a little to see what we look like, see if they keep going. So just showing, sending you some light codes you don't even know, but they gave you an electroshock, and this is why then your mission was so passionate and difficult, because you knew you had something to change. Absolutely. And it's not even a calling for you, it was actually a mission legated by your great-grandchildren from the future. And so intrinsically, you know that the people you're working for is your family. I don't know, I just saw this loop thing, and really how the future has been changing mostly these past years with during the COVID, maybe a pandemic, where we become more conscious of our health and of each other, is really what was needed to change the bigger future. You see, at the time 2 years sounds like hell, but in a scheme of 200 years, maybe that saved the entire world, because we found each other. And your little alien theory that no one believes in except the people in your surrounding that come to your conference, even if you're successful and stuff, all of a sudden you become aware that, oh, I'm not the only one thinking like that. Oh, I'm super really freaking legit. Like, even if you had confidence before, but when you see 50 other people, 10 other people that speak just like you, think just like you, who are the same testimony, then we are more legit. So the voice is being listened to, and the solutions too, There, I'm outside outside, going outside. Oh my God, see what I was talking about, the skin discoloration. I feel like I'm an alien after spending 2 years in my office. I'm finally outside. Book is finished. I'm with my kitties, enjoying some sun. It's the spring that was perfect for the winter. Now I'm gonna enjoy the spring a little bit. Ah! So this is hope for the future. We're on the right track. The health of our kids. The health, listen to that. The health of our kids. The book is gonna save us. Why? Because our kids now, just like us, we're conditioned, we're completely addicted to the screens, right? To the social media. And my son, I see him, he's completely addicted to his Nintendo. He wants to be on YouTube or on the phone, and he just wants to be on the screen. When we used to go outside every day all the time, we were super healthy. When I started working a lot and putting me a lot more in front of the screen, hence being a lot more inside, we started having lungs problems, both of us. It's not just that, it's related to other factors as well. But when you see the kids who are playing outside, going to the great outdoors, doing endurance and working on your lungs, you're a lot more, your body develops this immunity and this strength. But because we're staying on our couch, we're on our screens, or even outside, we're always stuck. The other day, literally, I was outside, and I saw there was a group of 6 persons. They were walking together, and they were all on their phone like that, all of them. And some of them, they had 2 phones. They were like this, like a true story. Like 2 of them had 2 phones like that, and they were young. They were like teenagers. And now I realized, I'm like, the book is the solution, because I put all the courses from everybody in the book. So you can just have the book in your car with you. You go outside on a walk, you go for a picnic, and you can read the book. And the kids, we need to have that to disconnect them a little bit from the screens as well. And I was thinking about that because I cut his hair yesterday, and my hair was like that, and we were both looking like super white. And I was talking of these grays, right? And I was like, this is it. This is how we're turning. We're mutating. So the urgency, everything I wrote in this book, the plan for the removal of nuclear weapons, the new engineering, having these clean technologies and stuff, the mutation is happening already. Why? We can see it in the health, all the COVID, all these lungs infections, the breathing. This is what is relating to our skin colors, right? Because the lungs, the oxygen, and our blood, if we're not oxygenated, then we get discoloration over generation. This is how we turn blue, because we're lacking oxygen. So, wow, I just had this giant quantum loop that relates everything, the health, because I was looking online in the WHO, the World Health Organization. They were saying there is this epidemics, there is this epidemics of lungs infections and, pneumonias and stuff like that. And I was like, crazy, but why? Because we don't exercise, we don't go outside. And if the outdoors, you go outside, breathing, it's polluted by the rockets, the cars, all this stuff. We're not, we're working out, but our system is processing pollution.
Mommy,
Yes, baby, what?
I have a corn dog.
You want a corn dog?
Yes!
All right, I'll make you one, but finish the fruits first. Okay? Look at his haircut. I cut his hair. Yes, another reason to buy the Pajama Mart Encyclopedia.